Hi, everyone. My name's Dianne Weinfeld, and I'd like to share a story of how my family turns leisure activities into full-blown water adventures. My parents, Alex and Sonia Spear, hailed from Europe, and one of their many priorities was enjoyment of the natural world, particularly water in its many forms. I grew up on the corner of Leonard and Route 140 right here in Foxborough. Our house was the only one on the street, and perhaps the only one in the town, that had a DIY ice skating rink. In the summer, my dad hooked up a garden hose to it, and voila, the rink became a magical slip and slide. My folks skied, something not many people did back in the 1950s, but we did. And at the tender age of 4, we headed north, and I was strapped into skis and sent down the finest New England slopes. I was like a baby gazelle on a downhill mission. Then came swimming lessons. Hector Renault, a military man, had a house with an in-ground pool and was enlisted as my swim instructor. Hector had one mission in mind for me. With eyes wide open, I was to dive down to the bottom of the pool and fetch brand new 1960 pennies. As I collected the treasure, my mom cheered. I was her porpoise with a purpose and living my aquatic dream. Next, my dad and his adventure buddy, Clayton Upper, decided to expand their world. They ordered a special DIY boat kit from Germany, and we're going to craft a full boat. A full boat is a collapsible canvas kayak that has a rudder system and an optional sail. It turned out the craft had about as much sail control as a paper towel in the wind. But that didn't stop the Spears. We loaded it onto the roof of our Rambler station wagon and went off for family Sunday afternoons. On our maiden sailing voyage, a particularly cold Memorial Day, we capsized in the Norton Reservoir. Fortunately, a passing motorboat snatched us from the freezing water. I found my 5-year-old self back in the car, soaking wet, wrapped in a towel like a drowned rat. The full boat sailing days were over. But my 10th birthday present was a sunfish. Every summer, we packed up and headed to Maine for our 1-week family vacation, bringing a recently purchased 18-foot motorboat, the Sunfish, and of course the full boat for the ultimate water sports experience. Sailing, swimming, kayaking, water skiing, our days were like the tryouts for the Junior Olympics. Why go to a resort when you can turn a lake into your playground? Let's fast forward to 1989. My husband, 2 kids, and I moved to Foxborough to join the family business, and we continued the tradition of water adventures. My husband, Kevin, was tasked to learn scuba diving so our company, Mayfair, could save money and check the integrity of the pools. I tagged along with Kev and fell in love with diving, the closest thing I'll ever get to being an astronaut. Kevin and I became experienced divers and decided to share this with our kids. We booked a trip with them and their friends to Bonaire for a spring break. We were like the Partridge Family. Kevin and I, along with my 17-year-old son, his girlfriend, and my 14-year-old son and his friend Skander. Kevin and I served as the dive masters. We routinely loaded 12 tanks into the van, and off we headed to the dive sites. Sam and his girlfriend were cautious divers, but the young Turks were not. Ignoring us, they drifted off, bounced between 30 and 50 feet, and that's a real no-no as a diver. But my favorite part, the night dive. The young boys wanted to go on one, and I decided to take them if they agreed to stay close. But I forgot to warn them about Charlie, the 7-foot tarpon with electric eyes, silver scales, who loves to hunt by your dive lights. So there we were together in the dark. Then the boys encountered Charlie, the fearsome-looking tarpon, and they were absolutely terrified. They both descended on me, gripping my arms and practically squeezing the life out of me. I had never imagined these kids so close to me, emotionally or physically. Well, in 2019, life threw a snowball at me. I was diagnosed with advanced rectal cancer and had a colostomy. It was a rough ride, a 2-year treatment journey. I was told I could do everything I did before. What was one of my questions? Could I still scuba dive? Well, the answer was yes, and I'm proud to say this past January I logged my 199th dive. Thank you. It was fun. So my story of water sports, family bonding, and a bit of aquatic chaos is my way of saying never stop diving into the things you love, whether it's through a DIY ice rink or a 7-foot fish staring you down in the dark. Life is too short not to laugh and jump in with both feet. Thank you, and stay hydrated.